Hello? Hello? Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Nafikiri tumekuja kwa kipindi kingine this afternoon ambaye ni ya presenting solutions, zile timu ya kuprepare solutions imekuja up naye for you to hear. Kama kuna kitu tu maybe sahau wait after we have by listing, we are free to point out. We those few remarks, I would ask the men and George to read some solutions for you.
Good afternoon. It's such a joy once again to stand before you on behalf of the resolution committee to present some of the resolution that we have captured based on the conversation, the sharing we've been having since we began our synodical meeting. I would request that we listen carefully so that if there are areas where we have not covered, we are able to raise them from the floor and we'll be able to include them. The following are the resolutions coming from our deliberation and discussion as the fourth session of the Synod of Garissa Diocese. Number one, that the Synod of the Diocese of Garissa adopts the policies presented from the province. There were policies that were presented to us that have been ratified at the province, and they were brought down to us as a diocese. So the first resolution is that this delegate of Synod of Garissa adopt those policies so that as a diocese we put them into use. Do I continue?
Name them.
That is number one.
Policies is very important, but I think there were three policies, so we name which one was it?
We had a policy on safeguards. Candidates, you can remind me the specification, the policies that we had.
Thank you. One was ethics and road policy, safeguarding policy, data.
Please, I think you should have done that.
It's really
Because we will vote for the red, because I can add another policy that was not there.
So we had three policies: safeguarding, data protection, and ethics and wisdom. logo. Do we vote again?
We voted. Let's vote.
The second resolution, that the synod approve the regularization of salaries for staff and clergy. The third resolution being presented before us is that this synod approves the review of parish quotas in line with capacity and fairness. This synod approve the review of parish quotas in line with capacity and fairness.
Was that not already presented?
It was presented by
That's the one you want to tell us. This. Are we going to accept the synod to accept the review? Which
Right.
is what we are asking us to start again.
right. The synod is being asked to accept and approve the to accept and approve the reviewed parish quotas in line with capacity and fairness as was presented before us yesterday. The synod is being asked to approve the reviewed parish quotas in line with the parish capacities and fairness as was presented to us yesterday. The synod is also being requested to approve to write off both salaries and quota arrears exact for the year 2025. The synod is also being requested to approve to write off both the salaries of staff arrears and the quota arrears from parishes except for the year 2025. The synod is being requested to approve the writing off of both salaries and quota arrears except for the year 2025. The synod is also being requested to accept and approve the proposed budget for the year. The synod is being requested to accept and approve the proposed diocesan budget for the year 2026 as was presented yesterday. The synod is also being requested to accept and approve the proposed list of board of mission as were presented before them yesterday. The proposed list of board of mission members is what presented yesterday. The synod is also being requested to accept and approve that the diocese remains in ADAC as we make consensus and explore our exit options. The synod is being requested to accept and approve that the Diocese of Garissa remains in ADAC as we build consensus and explore our exit options. The motion on exiting ADAC. My resolution was being based on where we end up our conversation. However, thank you for that amendment. So the synod is being requested to accept and approve that the Diocese of Garissa exit ADAC. Is that good?
Was that what you said? Was that the motion?
The synod is being requested to accept and approve the deletion or removal of suicidal value liturgy from the modern service book. The synod is being requested to accept the removal of suicidal value liturgy, the removal of suicide value liturgy from our modern service book.
And encourage the use of normal service book.
And encourage the normal use of the value liturgy in our service book. The synod is also requested to accept and approve the inclusion of liturgy for cremation in the Anglican prayer book.
If the province chooses to use the liturgy book, that would be the for this synod is for you, this for our
The synod is being requested to accept the use of liturgy for cremation in the diocese. The synod is being requested to accept and approve the use of liturgy for cremation in the diocese. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the creation of the Diocesan Board of Liturgy. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the creation of the Diocesan Board of Liturgy. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the inclusivity at the Lord's table and to remove barriers that make the Lord's table be a hindrance rather than a means of grace. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the inclusivity at the Lord's table and to remove barriers that makes the Lord's table to be a hindrance rather than a means of grace. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve that confirmation remain a discipleship program and not a requisite for admission to the Holy Communion participation. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve that confirmation remains a discipleship program and not a requisite for admission to Holy Communion participation. The Synod is also requested to accept and approve that all baptized children be admitted to Holy Communion table when appropriate teaching has been done by their parents and the church. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve that all baptized children be admitted to Holy Communion table when appropriate teaching has been done by their parents and the church. I'll do that one again. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve that all baptized, including children, be admitted to Holy Communion table when appropriate teaching has been done by the church and their parents. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the diocese which prioritizes solar energy over Kenya Power and Lighting with a view of cutting costs and to encourage environmental conservation. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the diocese prioritizes solar energy over electricity, the view of cutting costs, as well as being as well as encouraging environmental conservation. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve that the diocese consider in their budget for outreach to people with special needs. And finally, the Synod is being requested to accept and approve the change of the diocesan auditor. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the change of diocesan auditor. Thank you, members.
Thank you so much for the sharing, the team that has brought forward the matters resolution. My question comes in the place of exiting ADSE, because as was explained yesterday, there is it 10 areas, and so we are in Makweli, Machakos, Kitui, and Garissa. Are we exiting that particular area in order to be able to, join into another area within the bigger ADSC Kenya or the province? Because when you say exit ADSE, when it comes to legal terms, you literally, would it be coming out of it all, or rather are we saying that exiting this one block of the 4 dioceses and being open to any, adjoining ourselves to any other within the bigger province? Secondly, in the place of our South Sudanese brethren, is that part of the resolution, or that is not included in this particular one?
It was among the needs that we had, but it had already been approved during our plenary sessions. That's why I did not want to read it again. However, I can read it for matters of confirmation. The Synod is being requested to accept and approve the adoption, the inclusion. It's already done. It's all right. The issue of exit of ADSC, at the end of that sentence, I say that the Synod is being requested to accept and approve that the diocese of Garissa exit ADSC and explore other options. I don't know how you'd like us to frame it. Yes. Man feel that we are supposed to, as we exit ADSC, we should add other statement that open it for us to find other ADSC or to end other ADSC. What does the floor feel? What's the observation of the floor? Yes.
The idea to exist from ADC, very simple, I can say, but thought can be allowed. It was a process, and I can say I was a former years. There's a time I've been at Bishop of the Sun. During our formation period, I happened to write a letter to look for an assistant from the agency. We never supported us. We never replied our letter. Number two, and we should not get this one. During the enrollment of our new bishop, I took a letter for the bishop of South Region and mostly our brothers who are there, they are there for the EKC. He never came. He never came. So, I'm a human being. I thought, as you are my brother, you are supposed to walk with me in the time of people, the time of need, then you can say we are together. The idea of saying we are going to exist from the EKC is not a matter that we are going to remain without anybody else. We are going to explore, as you have said, explore where else the other people who are labor, who are living and embrace us in our weaknesses. Because although they say there is equality, but they are seeing from the far, there is no equality. There is no equality at all. Our equality may be because of the name and the that also. That's why we exist. Then we explore where we want to go. We start our own agency, whether it is acceptable or we can join any other agencies. We have one who is working up in a job and a liver. Yeah, that is how we are about it. We have Nairobi, even the time you are becoming the thousand mission in India. I don't know why you are taking this. Because you are going to Nairobi, by then you are all same. But we say that we can. So we exist as we explore where else are we going to go.
Thank you so much. So if you paraphrase it so that it's clear, if there's information to be relayed, exit regional ADSE, the Eastern Regional, explore other within the bigger province, so that we are not coming out of the big boat, but we are coming out of the small boat.
Chairman, you have something to say?
Thank you very much, Pastor. On that issue about AKC, I don't have much to say, but since it has come out clearly that mama bado ni mtoto wao familia anafanya nini, na sitaki mzazi au anatafuta makao kwa wengine. So the idea for looking for other options other than the agency is very much okay and as well. Because you can't stay somewhere where you are not treating other members. You are of equal status. So that's formally we accepted because we are as decolonized area, not a full houses. Even the membership was a bit lower. We have 2 directors, but 1 other 3 dioceses had 3. And that one we accepted because we are junior to the other 3. And since we became full houses, yes, we added 1 director to make it 2, and board of trustees, who is the bishop, we were all 3. And I would say, during our time, not that we were quiet. Here we were junior. We had not much to say. Although we tried as much as we could, and That's why you see that project liar going on, although but but for that one, I would say the reason was because the donors had to dictate which area their donation is to go, and other donors were afraid of coming to participate here in Garissa or in Northeastern whole with the fear hakuna security. And most of the times they were saying they are being alerted by their embassy in Nairobi. They should not move outside Nairobi because of this and that. And so they do not move further except sasa hiyo ya Ulaya we applied created fight lakini hiyo tulifaulu also this ni drop ya maji kwa Indian Ocean. So kijana akiwa mzima aanze kuwa na nguvu zake na uwezo wake, kama baba amwambia atoke, a wise boy will make that decision. So this is the decision that is a diocese is now making. Thank you, Bishop.
As a director, what do you want to tell us? When we are asked.
Chair, good afternoon. Allow me to wade into this very weighty matter of the ADSE. We also have the deliberations by yesterday, and I would pray for a little caution on how we handle it, because it seems like we crafted and agreed before we come to the meeting. I'm asking for sobriety in this sense, because in the presentations yesterday, the words came out very strongly, and the ADSE CEO took it almost personal. He decided defending the position and all that. At one point, he said, if you've already decided, then that is how he saw it, which I think would be defeated, would really go against what we are looking for. And so, when you are seated here crafting the items that we are discussing now that are going for voting, we felt like from the mood of yesterday, it was not conclusive that we are voting for. Because at one point it was even asked, is that the motion? And I think they're not very clear. It's the motion to get out, to withdraw from ADSE. And so even as we discussed, I think we need to be a little more open. And I think the way we originally phrased it, that we remain, that's what I would say, we remain as we explore options, as we take a little more time to think it over, and as things unfold. One thing I believe is that a wise person hears what is being said. A wise person reads between the lines. And I'm sure the ADSE team, as they left this place, they have a position. They know the complaints that we raised here, and that is going to form how they move that forward. So ours is to see and our interests that we are looking for being addressed by their action moving forward. If the answer is yes, then why are we doing it? If the answer is no, then you shall have a strong point. You shall say that, see, even after you come before us, we are still continuing to, kutubagua, then why do we need to be here? At that point, our case will be strong. Thank you.
yesterday, and as the heirs have said, at some point it became hot. But toward the end of it, the bishop came in and began engaging, upon which the CEO explained to us the procedures that we have to undergo if we intend to exit. And then the bishop came in and said, if we leave, we will be orphaned without, as we explore other options, meaning that when we vote, that we exit, then where we enter. That's why we having a conversation as a group.
The bishop is there, he says opinion.
Yes, he will.
So you say yours.
Of course, yesterday I heard you alluding to the issue being offered. And so as we sat among the resolution committee, we saw it wise that we remain in ADC as we gain consensus and explore other options before we come and vote and say we exit. Because the question will be, if we exit today, then where are we going? We haven't explored other regions that we look forward to join. And so that will be my humble submission. 403.
Someone else?
Right, Mr. Wako?
Thank you, Chair. I think I can also contribute on ADS. First, Ma'am was saying ADSC. There are two things here. There is ADS and ADSE. What you have agreed is we are not receiving the support from ADSE. But yesterday, remember there's a question I also asked the CEO. That there's a project which is ongoing. If we move from SPE at now, what is the consequences? As Yama was mentioned, it took it personal that we even say choices have consequences. So that's why I support Yama that to move from ADS now, we can hold. That's my opinion. As we now weigh options of other ADS, we say there's money and the rest. So maybe we can first of all seek how to join others rather than starting with moving from ADS. Thank you.
Number, please. Send me your number. 415.
Good afternoon. Dr. Joy of Safa. My area of concern is truly how do we benefit from ADS? It must be at the ADS. I remember they told us you can still have a donor, or you can look for money from a donor, and you can get that money and implement the project you want to do. My concern is it a must? We must work under ADS. And who owns this ADS? Does the ADS returns or whatever profit they make or what if I may call it the operational cost? It goes back to who? Who benefits out of this? Those are areas of my concern. I have another issue, so I don't know whether I address it now or I will continue to touch on that. I continue. No, I continue. Yes.
Continue.
I'm supporting we move out of ADS. If you can be able to stand on our feet, the better. The other issue that I wanted to bring to your attention, During the time Africa was doing the restorations, I heard that you have decided on asking us to pass the solution that we forfeit ama tusahau, we write off the salaries of the previous years. My concern is, are you taking into account that it is a breach of contract to write somebody's off salary, which we work, unless you agree the modality, how that person, how you keep on paying that person, would be the current, you can decide to pay the current salary plus a portion of what you ought to have been given. Because I'm seeing a scenario where one employee or two or three will decide to take us to court because of labor law. Are we in a position to defend ourselves as to why we decided to write off those salaries? And if we agree that we are going to write off, does it include even the senior officials who are in the best? Because you cannot write off for juniors and you need for the seniors. I hope you understand what I mean. Thank you.
Asante members. Ningeomba kwanza tumalize moja ADC au tuingie kwa ingine ili tuende kwa hiyo rai.
Thank you, Chair. Member number 45. My concern is it's like we are amending our motions. It's just as simple as if I accept a motion, whether I'm defeated on the floor or else I win. So the way the motion was brought, it is to accept. If you are not for that, vote no. If you are for the age, vote yes. The mover, maybe sometimes after 2 years, when we shall be meeting again as the SYNOD, he may bring it in another way. So I think for now we are doing it. We are not fair to the mover of the motion. It is either he is defeated on the floor or either you win. So for me, the motion remains as it was. That is my proposal, Chair.
Okay. I can see it's our only issue that is dividing us, and I didn't want it to divide us. I possibly wanted us to go as one man in this, because it's a long journey. And I'll be honest, let me start with my brother, who is. It's wrong for someone, however rich, however powerful, to threaten or belittle. When someone says this is a project they were doing, how many years have they taken to do this project? When was it started? The Bohol project? Hello? Yeah? 2020. And when you say choices have consequences, have they not budgeted for this project? Are they not budgeted for this project? Were they not implementing this project? If it has failed, does it have to influence what decision we make for our good? I'm just asking so that we can clarify, because I want first to remove fears that are there, then we can make decisions with our sober minds. Okay? I will be happy to see this project take place. But from the reports I've had, I've not received any detailed report as the bishop that this is the project, this is where we are, and this is what is waiting. I have been waiting, I have not been given any details. I don't know whether you gave me and I forgot to do. It started 2023. Rita, have you given me a report on this? I'm simply saying that since I became bishop, I have not had any report of ADS personally. Let me just say, so that you can tell me whether it's fair that this is happening. I'm meant to be a what? A partner, a trustee, a guarantor. How many times have we sat with them? Huh? That's a part of disclosure I'm simply making. But let's not go into the details. What the CEO, that's why I sat down to have him explain to us. Did he tell us about the process, that it's impossible to do what? Is it possible to leave? Did he say that? Because of the laws that have been put will make it hard to leave. But we said it is not completely impossible, but it's a longer process. Is it then bad if we decided to follow a longer process? When it happens, it will happen. If it doesn't happen, we will stay. It's the idea of being left out doesn't work. But when you are denied something that should be fundamentally yours, you've got to do what? To get them. Oh, what do I say? You've got to shake so that they recognize you are there. What is happening is simply people do not think we are there. Well, that's my fear. When we talked yesterday, he said Machakos had developed its own what? ADS, its own special service vehicle. This is not the motion yesterday, but from the interaction, I want to also propose that this SYNOD approves that our diocese start developing our own special purpose vehicles for purpose of development in this diocese. Okay? If you agree, then the donors that they wanted us, did you hear him say, tell us to bring our donors to them and they write for us projects? Did you hear something like that? And I said, how do I take my friends to take them to Easter and whatever project they do will also forget us? I said, no, this one is not possible for me. So I would like us to have our donors and our friends to realize that we have the love in mind, we have Garissa urban workers in mind, we want everyone in mind. So what I would want to have this as a proposal for your consideration is, first of all, step one, allow us to set up a special purpose vehicle for development for our diocese. Okay? So that all donors that we know, we can do what? We can align them to this. Two, is that taken? If I have a resolution on that, can I get a proposal? All right? Number 418. And this one is for what? 408. Ah, 408 seconds. First of all, to develop our Garissa development services. Okay? That is one. Two, if we have shares, can't we go and claim what our shares are? Seriously? Even if I came to live with you in your house and I bought a seat, I bought a share, nikihama nyumba si I move with my things. Can we also make another resolution? If we make one to exit, I have two one option. Our diocese is far bigger than, what is this? The two groups that we are relating with. And since it will be a long process that will make everybody discuss, then we'll be able sometimes to bargain. You can bargain when someone tells you, "Nimechoka na hii matter." So then they will sit down and say, "What do you want?" Then we say, "We want this, and then we'll be quiet." But if you don't complain, will they ever think about us? Will they ever think that there is such an above here? Okay. We have one option, that part of our diocese was also being operated with ADS Mount Kenya East. And both ADS Mount Kenya East were already operating in Wajir and Mandera counties. They had projects already in those places, which ceased. But I'm trying to argue that if we are allowed to have multiple, our diocese belong to multiple, what do you call it, ADSs, I wouldn't mind. The challenge is the projects that are now done with ADSC, how many truly affect us? Even if they closed, will we know?
No.
Even if they continue, will we be affected?
No.
See, this is what the decision, even he said it himself, whatever decision we make is inconsequential. It will not affect what they are doing. But think about it. They had 200 million spent where? In here. How much did we get of it? What is the This is the politics of development. Mr. Jeroge can tell you. People raise and eat on top of others. This is their country, they can do any project they want. They are also doing projects in Tanariva. So I want us to approach this with sobriety. It doesn't mean that if we vote to exit, we will exit tomorrow. Okay? It will be a long process, the CEO had said, but it will command people's attention that what can be done, because what laws we make, we can also do it and make them, if we agree on way forward. But I want you to have dignity, to dignify yourselves. That you can say yes, or you can say no, however weak you are. I will not withdraw any member who is participating at ADSC from this diocese. If you are director, you will remain until your term expires. I wish they got someone else for my place. You know, you are in meetings that you don't want to be. You are there because Sharia gave yourself. That's how sometimes I feel. But because of you, I go take my way, I go to those meetings. I want us to really reflect on this, because the province will never allow us to be without any access. If we are not satisfied in one place, we could move. Did you hear me asking him yesterday, where was Kajiado? Was Kajiado not part of ADSC? And Kajiado did what? Moved to Nairobi. Even Kajiado were asking us, kwa nini hii hamkukuja Nairobi? What I'm wanting is where we can exert influence. But that consequential decision we have made is that we set our own ADSC. What I mean ADSC may not be to the scale of that, but our special purpose vehicle to develop this. And I know development players in this diocese. I'm thinking of you, Jeroge, I'm thinking of our brother Kamal, I'm thinking of my sister Mizuka. and others who are in this development industry that we can put our heads together. When our donors come, those come to Casa, they will find people who talk their language and talk on behalf of our diocese. The problem is we've not found someone talking on our behalf. I don't know, Mr. Chair, whether this is satisfactory. What I'm saying is even if we say vote today we are quitting, okay, like the proposal was, it will be a process. That means it will also give them time to try and convince us not to do what? Not to do. And in that process, we will renegotiate. And if we are convinced that we should continue, we will bring back that vote here next year. And you will ratify or approve that we continue. But with this vote, I would have also wanted, if we vote to exit, we also must vote to say that which one do we prefer. Okay? And we have the option of either going to Mount Kenya East, okay, or going to Nairobi. So those are two options because of historic links that we already have. The reason why we became part of Machakos or AKC Eastern was because Garissa at some point had relationship with Machakos. Okay? I don't know whether this is clear, but if you don't agree, I will be humble and wait until when I'm able to be convinced. But already you've given me one option that at least I have one tool that I can use. This one to develop a special purpose vehicle to deliver development for us in these diocese. Thank you. Something.
Thank you, Baba Skofu, the members, and habits here. And yesterday when I saw Baba Skofu, let's say I think that we are seeing. I knew there's a point he's trying to dig before making a decision. You know, if you make a decision, come around and have some information, it will be difficult to get those information. Secondly, I know Baba Skofu, hata kabla hajakuwa mchungaji. And he is aggressive, the master knows. And when he say no, it's no. Before that issue, we release it. So I'm very thankful for your remarks. And I think everybody has said clearly that the process, if we pass it today, we are not going to tomorrow. Either we need allowance, which next? It's a process. And that does not mean our Lord Bishop, through that process, is not pursuing the issue privately, looking for loopholes where how we can move. So let's trust, I believe, in the course of time, as he has said, with this agency, CEO and his team, I'm taking the report there because it is presented soon. It was not a joke yesterday, hata nafikiri waliotoka hapa akiwa na baridi. Alikuwa na baridi. Kwa hivyo lazima aite mkutano wa dharura. I informed board of trustees, in the absence of the bishop, Garissa, with the directors are here. And if they are wise, as our bishop has said, they will make a change. And if the change is not coming, I think we are also not fools. Decision, hayo na shukuru Baba Askofu hayo, na kulikuwa na resolution nyingi, hiyo ilikuwa ya TSC. Nafikiri ni kama hiyo tumeifunga for now, au naweza kuingia kwa ingine ambayo iko mada ambayo anafanya namna hii. Haya, kama hiyo wafanyongea au kuanza kuongea. Okay, sawa.